very battle-tested. They will take on the unbeaten James Clemens Jets on Thursday.
Can't forget our good friend David Lloyd in Randolph. You mentioned James Clemens being 10-0 for the first time in school history. Randolph getting to host a playoff game for the very first time in school history as they will take on Fayette County. So a lot of teams across our area getting some good play as well. And that it does include our 97.7 ESPN The Zone Team of the Week, the Tanner Rattlers. They get into the playoffs as well. And we'll talk to Oscar Bonds here in just a little bit as his team prepares for the Class 2A playoffs.
Mm-hmm. And they will take on Lamar County.
Yep.
Lamar County being, I think, from 2A Region 5, and they will be they're the 3 seed. To the Tanner Rattlers 7-3, and they are from 2A Region 7, and they will be in the Rattlers narrowly missed winning 8 in a row and winning that region. They lost 14-13 to Pisgah, but they will be hosting at the Pit against Lamar County. And as you said, Coach Bonds will be joining us in a few minutes.
Yeah, we'll talk that in just a little bit because we got some more high school football to get to. But yesterday, and staying with the pigskin yesterday, they did reveal the first edition of the college football playoff rankings. And did you think you would see Georgia, Alabama, Michigan State, and Oregon as your top 4, with Ohio State and Cincinnati being 5 and 6?
I mean, I was a little surprised Cincinnati didn't land on the 4 spot. That had been my prediction, but I thought they would slip going forward. They're already behind the 8 ball, so they're going to have to need some help to get into the college football playoff, no doubt about it. Michigan State skyrocketed up. There's no question about that. Of course, it was kind of interesting to listen or just read the whining of the Oklahoma media because those clowns nearly lost to Kansas, yet they somehow think they can tackle somebody and that they're better than Alabama because there were some lamenting that, well, I guess it just doesn't count when Alabama loses. But if you go by the eye test, Alabama's a better football team than Oklahoma. Oklahoma is very fortunate right now to be undefeated, and they're still in the top 4. So you can't complain too much. You're right in the mix. You just gotta, it was almost like they know they're going to choke, and so they're, a lot of their media are going to go out there and stump for them, but understanding that they probably won't be there in the end. But again, if they win, they're in, so they control their own destiny. And then Oregon, Mario Cristobal, they have that big win over Ohio State, which is obviously carrying a lot of weight with the committee.
Yeah, the committee really, we mentioned they had 8 new members yesterday. They're really looking at the eye test because you brought up Oklahoma. The committee said that, first of all, they're 9-0, so they belong to being ranked 8th. They're undefeated, but they said the defensive struggles throughout the year certainly were discussed in regards to Oklahoma. They said the other thing that was discussed is Oklahoma is still trying to find their identity, but certainly when they added Caleb Williams at quarterback, the committee agreed that the offense certainly changed in a positive way. So the committee is really looking at the eye test this year when it comes to teams, and they did break down as to why Alabama is ranked 2nd, because there was some pushback from some around the national side as to why Alabama with 1 loss was ranked 2nd.
Well, the committee spent, right away, Georgia was a clear number 1, and a fair amount of conversation about where Alabama has come from and where they've been and who they've played and beaten, Mississippi and Mississippi State, and how well they're playing. But there was a lot of consensus for Alabama to be number 2. And then after that, it became from 3 to 9, we've probably spent a few hours yesterday and this morning working through 3 to 9 because there was so many different ways to approach it.
No problems with Alabama number 2. And as Kirk Herbstreit said, it'll all play itself out. If people think that these 2 SEC teams are getting in right now because they're ranked there, Georgia 1, Alabama 2, if Alabama beats Georgia, then Alabama's in and Georgia probably not in. if Georgia beats Alabama, if they get to the SEC championship game, Alabama's not in the playoffs with 2 losses. So it would all play itself out in the end.
It is going to all play itself out. So everybody panicking and getting angry is just stupidity. And so I didn't understand, why. I mean, and I wasn't shocked Alabama was still number 2 because that's the way I would have chosen it. I was a little surprised. I thought, Michigan State might be 5th and have to wait another week or 2 before moving all the way up into the top 4. But certainly the win over Khaki Pants, carried a lot of weight.
Oregon at number 4. Is that surprising you? Because they have the best win, which is over Ohio State, but they also have probably, can you say, the worst loss of all of those teams this year?
Well, I would have, I wouldn't have had a problem having Oregon below Ohio State the way Ohio State's playing now, but the way with the head-to-head win, that has to count for something. And so that's why I think Oregon's ahead of Ohio State right now. But I think in the end, if Ohio State keeps trending the way they are and the way they're playing, being 5th right now, I don't think there's any doubt that they've got a chance to be in that, in the top 4. And again, I know Oklahoma's 6th, and I made some references but if they continue to win, they're going to get in because, again, Alabama and Georgia, one's going to knock one off. I guess they're nervous that Alabama's going to beat Georgia and Georgia's going to stay in the top 4. But remember, Michigan State, Ohio State play each other. I mean, they're going to cannibalize each other. And Oregon nearly lost to Cal. So
right.
And last year around this time, it looked like they were setting themselves up for a playoff run, and then they laid a turd and lost to Arizona State. So I just think there's no guarantee that Oregon's going to win the Pac-12. So if you're Oklahoma, and I think that's another reason they were so angry.
That they're 8th?
Is because I believe they're 6th.
Oklahoma's 8th.
Are they? Oh, my bad. Okay, I'm sorry.
Cincinnati is 6th.
Yeah, that's right. I'm looking at the Ohio State, and they're under Ohio State, but it's just the graphic that I had. I want to apologize for that. They are 8th, and so I guess that's why they were so disturbed. But again,
because they're behind a 1-loss Michigan.
Yeah, but see, the thing is, again, does anybody think, because Michigan's got to play Ohio State, and we all know the track record. So even being 8th with Oklahoma, even being 8th, and I guess I'm showing that I really didn't watch the ranking show, and I didn't. I just saw the top. Really, I was just paying attention to the top 2. I really don't give a damn about Oklahoma, but I mean, I will say. But when you look at it objectively, and you look at where they are now, and now that I've paid attention, and they are 8th, because I really don't give a rat's ass about them. But now that you look, and they are 8th, but when you look at who's in front of them, again. Michigan, Ohio State, goodbye Michigan. No guarantees that Oregon's going to get there. And if Oklahoma continues to win and be unbeaten, they are certainly going to jump Cincinnati, who is not going to be playing the schedule that they are. So Oklahoma being 8th and undefeated, I know that's bothering them, but everything is still in front of them. Because
Michigan will probably lose to Ohio State.
That's what I'm saying. And then you look at that, and then you look at Ohio State and Michigan State. They have to play each other.
Right.
I mean, the only one to be nervous about would be if Georgia lost to Alabama. Because if Georgia beats Alabama, that knocks Alabama out. So, but again, if they're undefeated by that time, it's not going to matter. They're going to be in the top 4. So even being 8th right now and being further back, because I think they thought they would, at worst, be probably 5 or 6. Probably 5 is what they were hoping. But if you look at it, their schedule hasn't been great. And then it's the eye test. Oklahoma has not played well in several games.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why they're 8th. But everybody in front of them, it doesn't even matter. If they continue to struggle but still win, they are going to be there in the end if they're undefeated coming out of the Big 12, because all these schools are playing each other in front of them, and they're going to cannibalize themselves. And Michigan
does that
will
leave
have
Cincinnati
multiple
a
losses.
Shot at all?
Well, what Cincinnati has to hope, they got to hope Georgia beats Alabama. That's 2 losses, and they're out. And then Michigan loses again, they're out.
Right.
Oregon loses again, they're out. They got to hope that there's several 2-loss teams in there and that they're one of the undefeated left. And so I will say this, if Cincinnati and Oklahoma win out going forward, I don't give a rat's ass about either one of these teams, but if they do win out going forward and win their conference championship games, both of them will be in the top 4, in my opinion. Because I think that, especially if Alabama ends up with 2 losses, Oregon ends up with 2 losses, Michigan ends up with 2 losses, I don't think you can – to me, Scott, you can't justify putting in 2 lost teams ahead of an unbeaten Cincinnati or an unbeaten Oklahoma. So I am actually backhanded complimenting them.
If Alabama beats Georgia, and that is Georgia's lone loss in the SEC title game, and Michigan State loses to Ohio State, Michigan State would not get to the Big Ten championship game. Michigan State would have 1 loss. They would be out. I mean, does the SEC then, if Oklahoma runs the table and you have you have Ohio State, Oklahoma, and let's say Oregon has 1 loss, does it come down to Georgia and Oregon with 1 loss to be that 4th team? Is that potentially?
It'll be Georgia. If Georgia gets to Atlanta undefeated, which they should, or they should fire Kirby.
They'll get on.
They're getting in the playoff regardless, unless somehow they laid the biggest turd of Kirby's career and they lose like 35-10. Okay, which I don't think is going to happen. It's going to be a very competitive game. So I think Georgia would be in. But I'm just saying, when you look at the one team that's screwed that we haven't even talked about is the basketball school, Wake Forest. Okay,
well, they're 9th.
They're 9th,
undefeated,
and they're undefeated. And even if they go undefeated, they might not make it. Okay, because the ACC is so bad. And I mean, Wake Forest. Look at Wake Forest. They don't even have a Notre Dame win, which is what Cincinnati's got. And right now, Notre Dame's in the top 10, even though I really don't think they're that great. So, and I'm talking about in the major poll. And Notre Dame
Wake
is
Forest has 1 ranked team left to play, and that's NC State in 2 weeks.
Right.
So that's it. That's all they have. And if they win that one, that's technically on their schedule as of right now. There are no ranked teams that they would have beaten.
And that's another thing, too. Do I believe Wake Forest is going to go undefeated? No, and as soon as they lose, they're out of it.
They have Clemson in 3 weeks. So, all right, let's get a break in because Oscar Bond's got to join the show here in just a minute because we got to talk our 97.7 ESPN The Zone Bryant Bank team of the week.
One of the 2 this week.
You're listening to Talkin Ball on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
3 different wrecks on 565 eastbound near Greenbrier, right around mile marker 2. That traffic's backed all the way through the 565 I-65 interchange. Be very careful there. Lots of emergency equipment in that area. Expert heart care backed by advanced technology. When you need cardiac care, you need the heart doctor. Dr. Randall Burns and the team at Huntsville Heart Specialist. Captain Nick in the North Parkway Popeye Skywatch Traffic Center.
McCurry Motors is your car and van rental headquarters. You can rent the vehicle you need today. Family in town, sporting event, church function, no matter what your need, McCurry Motors has you covered with a wide selection of cars and vans available for rent. They have 12-passenger Mercedes Sprinter vans, 12-passenger Ford Transit vans, 15-passenger Ford Transit vans, and 15-passenger Chevrolet Express vans. They have 2 locations, Highway 72 in Athens or Max Luther Drive in Huntsville.
Hi, my name is Dan Aldridge. I'm here to let you know about the Aldridge Law Firm and the soon-to-be-announced Legal Town Center. I've been practicing law in Alabama since 1984, and I also practice in Tennessee. And I'm from North Alabama, and I'm here to represent you and take care of your legal needs. For many of us, hiring an attorney is not high on the priority list, and maybe a little scary. But it's something that we all need at some point. So by all means, do your homework. And if you need representation for car accident, wrongful death, medical malpractice, nursing home abuse, or estate planning, or any other matter, just give us a call at 256-534-3188. And you can email me at Dan, that is Dan at danaldridgelaw.com. Dan at danaldridgelaw.com. God bless America.
No representation is made that the quality of legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
Valley,
Equipment Rental. Pretty self-explanatory name, no? Tom Abraham here. And look, Valley Equipment Rental is all over the Tennessee Valley, and they rent equipment, all kinds of equipment, and not just to the contractors out there, but to you, the general public, as well. Need a skid steer or an excavator? Well, they've got over 40 units to make sure they've got one for you. From huge boom lifts to miscellaneous hand tools, it's at Valley Equipment Rental on the South Parkway. And soon, they'll have a second location to handle even more equipment. More on that to come.
Everybody knows the fun begins when you get to the end zone, where you can enjoy half-price apps every Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, half-price burgers every Tuesday, plus late-night pizza specials and a spectacular menu that includes jumbo wings, half-pound burgers, Tex-Mex, and an incredible selection of craft beer, and plenty of big-screen TVs. It's all happening at the end zone, 1851 University Drive, 2030 Cecil Ashburn at Jones Valley Station, and coming in early 2022, Mid-City End Zone at 1115 McMurtry next to the Target Shopping Center.
Eating the last slice of pumpkin pie? Power move. Buying your own gifts? Power move. Switching to crazy fast gig speed internet from WOW? Power move. Get the speed you need with gig speed internet for just $64.99 a month. Plus get a year of HBO Max included and $300 on us. Sign up at wowway.com today. After the promotional period, HBO Max will auto-renew at then prevailing rate. Limited to new customers with auto-pay and paperless billing. Offer subject to change. Restrictions and terms apply.
Hi, everybody. Eli Gold here. Right now, indoor air quality occupies top-of-mind awareness for families and business owners. Rick Smith and the trusted professionals at Environmental Comfort Systems can take care of your indoor air quality concerns with their state-of-the-art indoor air quality solutions. Environmental Comfort's indoor air quality systems remove 99.9% of airborne contaminants so you and your family can breathe clean, fresh air. If anyone in your family suffers from allergies, or if you just want the security of knowing the air you breathe inside your home is free from viruses, bacteria, pet dander, dust, and odors, Environmental Comfort Systems are the professionals to call. Environmental Comfort also carries state-of-the-art, high-efficiency comfort systems that increase home comfort, keep humidity in check, and help you save money on your energy bills. Give my friend Rick a call or visit them online at envcomfort.com and breathe cleaner air today. Environmental Comfort Systems, Alabama license number 92314.
This segment of Talkin Ball is brought to you by University Kia, the #1 volume Kia dealer in the state of Alabama. Located online at universitykia.com.
Welcome back, 747, 97.7 ESPN The Zone. It's time to pay a little honor.
Each week, they lace it up. Each week, we'll present our Team of the Week.
Get it in here! I got one thing to say!
So it's time for the Bryant Bank Team of the Week presentation.
It is time to honor our 97.7 ESPN The Zone Bryant Bank Team of the Week. And this week, we stay in Limestone County. Actually, the last 2 weeks, we were in Morgan County, though, weren't we? Because we had West Morgan and then in Decatur. Now we're in Limestone County this week because we honor the Tanner Rattlers.
Yes, a tradition-rich program. LaRon White took to heights we'd never seen, and now our next guest is rebuilding the tradition at Tanner High School. And before that, certainly he was a great player at Russellville and got his degree from Jacksonville State University, played there, and then and was under the great Steve Smith. We've had Steve Smith on this show from Piedmont High School, built one of the best small school powers, one of the best 3A programs in the state of Alabama. He was an assistant for Coach Smith for 13 seasons before coming to Tanner to revive this program, and he's certainly done so since 2018, and now coming off of a second-place finish in 2A Region 7. They nearly go on an 8-game winning streak to close the season. They've won 7 out of 8, playing very good football, and now they will host Lamar County over at the Pit. And Oscar Bonds has been good enough to join us on the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline this morning. Coach, you're with Drew and Scott. How are you?
I'm doing great. How about yourself?
We're doing really well. And Coach, I know it's never easy to follow in the footsteps of someone like LaRon White, and he won state championships at Tanner. They were one of the best small school programs in the state, but certainly You've done a great job. What's been the key to you rebuilding this Tanner program and getting it to the point where you guys now are back in the playoffs?
Really, you got to get kids to buy into what you're trying to preach and your philosophy. When LeRon was here, I think he's more tight end set. I come from a spread, and I'm more traditional spread, but we still run power ball at you. And so, that was part of the building the program, and also the weight room. I'm real big about the weight room. All-season training is real big. And when I got here, they hadn't had an off-season in like 2 seasons because when LeRon left, they didn't live in the spring. And then the next coach came in after LeRon, and he got hired in May. He left after 1 year, and so they didn't live again 2 springs in a row. And that put us behind. So.
Mm-hmm. Well, let's talk about the season then. I mean, you look at it, and it has been since you've now been able to get that weight stuff going. You've been able to get the guys back to the condition where they should be. A lot of positive things have happened this season.
Yeah, we had a slow start. We had a few guys out at the beginning of the season with the COVID protocols and a couple guys that were sick at the beginning of the season. But, when we got everybody healthy and got everybody in the right place, we took off. And really we took off when we started playing better defense. And that's what I preach around here. Like when we was at Piedmont, we hung our hat on playing great defense. And, if you get the ball back to your offense, it gives them a chance to score more, better field position.
And, and of course, we know how important Piedmont football is to that community and what Coach Smith has done. The state titles he's won at Tanner in 2009, the first state title under Coach LeRon White. And then, of course, also 2012 and 2013, a 2-time champion, I should say, 2012, 2013, back-to-back titles. And it just the tradition of winning there, is that kind of what when you were looking, and I know there's some similarities because both are small towns, both small school programs. What attracted you to being able to decide to take that Tanner job?
Well, the opportunity was there, and it was closer to home, and they always been pretty solid over the last 15 years. Because like when I was in high school, I heard of Tanner, but I wasn't real familiar with Tanner. But then they kind of took off in the early 2000s and later on. So I feel like that'd be a good fit because they expect to compete and win. It's just you got to do things the right way, and that's being accountable, being at practice.
Yeah, and I want to correct something before. I just wanted to say the 3-time state champions, of course, were Piedmont, 2009, 2015, and 2016, but then the 2-time champs, 12 and 13 for Tanner. So both of these programs have been state championship perennial contenders, and now you're doing a great job rebuilding Tanner and doing what Coach Smith has done over there. Remarkable job so far.
6 straight wins at one point throughout the year, Coach. And I know I look at the schedule, and you have 6 straight wins, and then you get a bye week, and then you have that big game with Pisgah. Were you like chomping at the bit, being like, why do we got to take a bye week now? 6 straight wins?
Well, yeah, sometimes a bye kind of, you get a little rush. And, especially when you're hot, you want to keep playing when you're hot. But, we just had a few times. I thought we played pretty good in the game. We just didn't finish inside the red zone. We ended up losing by a point, went for the win. On the road, went for 2, and they stopped us. But, we got stopped three times in the red zone. So you got to finish. But, it was a good learning experience. Maybe the guys, we learned from it, and we'll be better.
And, Coach, I know a big part of this is experience and leadership and numbers. I know this has been a process since 2018. That when you took this program over, I know that the support there has always been good because we saw what LeRon did for 15 years, averaging double-digit wins. How long did it take you to get that support, and how are the numbers looking at Tanner right now?
Well, when I first got here, I think there was done a lot of chaos. I don't know what really happened before I got here, but I knew there's some things that took place. And so when I first started, I got hired in the summer, so I may have had 10 kids this summer workout. Wow. Mm-hmm. I didn't even know if I was going to have a team, So when school started, I racked up about 6 or 7 more guys to have about 16, 17. But now we dress 29, so, that's pretty good numbers for us. I'm going from like 16 to 17, and maybe 2 or 3 of them will be 8th graders. So.
Well, Coach, let's look ahead to the playoffs. Lamar County, round one, at home. You're fortunate enough to be home for round one of the playoffs against a Lamar County.
Lamar County, they're a great team. I think they got the same record as us. They're 7-3. 5 of their games they had shutouts in, so they play pretty good defense. They're going to be a 3-4 front, 2 high safeties, and they like to roll down sometimes to cover 3. But they got some pretty good players over there on offense. They try to play physical and run a lot of kickouts. And if the kickouts is not working, they'll go. They love to screen you. They'll try to throw a couple of screens to get big plays. So we got to be prepared for all of that and just play sound, disciplined football. Limit the penalties. Don't turn the ball over, and I feel like we'll be fine.
And, Coach, obviously you like to run the football. You were a great running back at Russellville and then went on to Jacksonville State. First of all, offensively, I know you said you're more of a spread guy, but tell us about some of the young men that have excelled on that side of the ball and what you feel like you need to do against Lamar County coming up on Friday night.
Well, Lamar, we're a spread team. Some of the guys like Skylar Townsend at receiver, he's about 6'2". He gives a lot of people matchup problems because he's long. He's got like a 74-inch wingspan, so he's a long-rangey kid. Alex Guster, he's our fastest player on the team. He's a running back. He makes a lot of plays, just hitting home runs. And then we can go. We got a Trey Crutcher we can use sometimes at running back and at quarterback. He's a bigger kid. He's the ground and pound. We need 4 or 5 yards. He's about 6'1", 200. The O-line is nasty. Our O-line plays very physical. Big guys, about 280 or better up front. And the quarterback, Carl Parham, does a good job of managing the game. And then we got a little athlete, scat guy we put anywhere in the slot, Elanius Jackson, who just makes big plays for us throughout the season. So I like our offense. But we like to run the ball. We like to run powers and kick out counters and kick outs. And then when we take our chances, when we throw quick bubbles and slants, or we can always throw a deep ball to Skylar Townsend. So.
Mm-hmm. And then, Coach, what's going to be the key for you defensively in your mind to kind of slow down Lamar County and have a chance to get a playoff win?
Oh, we got to stop the run. I mean, that's the first thing I tell the kids all the time. If you control the game in the trenches, you always got a chance to win it. And like I said, the most important thing to me is stopping people on defense, because if you stop people from scoring, you always got a chance. You're always in the game. So we stop the run and try to make them one-dimensional. I feel like we'll be fine. But I love our defensive front. Our front seven is pretty solid, and we ask those guys on the back end to play a lot of man. And sometimes you might get beat, but we'll take our chances to get in a big play, whether it be a sack or loss of yardage.
Mm-hmm. Well, Coach, you're our 97.7 ESPN The Zone Bryant Bank Team of the Week. Going to be headed your way tomorrow for a special check presentation. First of all, congratulations on the season, but congratulations on the success that you guys have enjoyed this so far.
All right, I appreciate that, guys. Y'all have a great one.
Thank you. That's Coach Oscar Bonds. Scott, the team of the week, the Tanner Rattlers, and we'll honor them tomorrow along with Westminster Christian Academy's ladies, the 4A state champions in volleyball for the first time ever.
Get the truckster ready. We're going to be driving all across Madison and Limestone County tomorrow, handing out checks.
You need to look spiffy. I think we're going to be in front of the whole school at Westminster.
Going to put on your best britches.
Yeah.
Tomorrow. Let's get a break in. Our break. When we come back, going to be entertained. We're going to talk a little college basketball. Going to wake up John Shulman.
How many Mountain Dews?
Is he already woke up? We don't know. We'll ask him if he's up and raring. Actually, I think they got practice like in 10 minutes. We'll figure it out.
Have you ever found exactly the right new car or truck with the exact features that you want and nothing else? Well, at Woody Anderson Ford, we can promise you just that. Hey, Bobby White back again, and you can now factory order your new Ford today, and you'll get your new car or truck exactly the way you want it. And there's no extra cost to custom order. Plus, you get $1,000 off MSRP on top of any additional factory rebates. This applies to 2021 F-150, Explorer, Ranger, and Expedition. It's a win-win with a custom order at Woody Anderson Ford. You get the colors, the features, and the options that fit your life. Plus, you get notified when it's built, shipped, and ready to deliver. Listen, buying a new car or truck is likely the second largest investment you'll ever make. So why settle? Get exactly what you want with a custom factory order today. and get $1,000 off MSRP. See how at WoodyAndersonFord.com or at the corner of Jordan Lane and Sparkman Drive. Hope to see you soon.
WZZN, Union Grove, Huntsville, Alabama. 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
And a wreck at 53 in Jeff Road. That one came in with injury and possible entrapment. It looks like they've canceled all the responding units from that one. 3 different wrecks on 565 eastbound near Greenbrier. That's right around mile marker 2. That's got the left lane blocked up, but the whole interstate's very, very slow. Traffic's backed all the way back to the I-65-565 interchange. Snelling has immediate need for experienced materials handlers at a premier government contractor. First shift at $14.50 an hour plus overtime. Huntsville.snelling.com. Captain Nick in the 72 and Jeff Popeye Skywatch Traffic Center.
From the Fox 54 Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. A mostly cloudy to overcast sky this afternoon. Scattered showers are going to be possible. Temperatures really fail to warm up. Highs only hanging out in the mid and upper 40s. Some of us could see the lower 50s, but just in general, it's going to be a really cool kind of a gross Wednesday across North Alabama, southern Middle Tennessee. Temperatures falling into the upper 30s and lower 40s as we head into the overnight. A couple of scattered showers are going to be possible on Thursday. I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman on your home for ESPN Radio, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
This is Brent Musburger's VSiN Action Update on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Simple Green is perfect for making your auto, RV, cycling, boating, and other sporting equipment look like new. Visit them at simplegreen.com.
College football, a top 15 matchup in College Station Saturday. Number 12 Auburn at 13th ranked Texas A&M. The Tigers a 4.5-point road underdog. Number 3 Alabama heavy favorites over LSU at home, minus 29.5. NBA tonight, the Hawks at the Nets. Atlanta a 5.5-point road underdog. The over-under 219. For the undisputed middleweight boxing championship, the WBA, the WBC, WBO, and IBF titles, Canelo Alvarez will face Caleb Plant. Alvarez pound for pound the best fighter in the world, minus 1,000. Plant a plus 600 underdog.
I'm Trey Westerberg, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Log on today, 977ESPN.com. Welcome to Talkin Ball with Scott Theisen and Drew DeArmond. Call into the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline now, 256-576-4977. That's 256-576-4977. Now, here's Scott and Drew.
Welcome back to Talkin Ball, 97.7 ESPN The Zone. As we talked a lot of football in that first hour, and rightfully so, the college football playoffs rankings came out. 97.7 ESPN The Zone, Bryant Bank Team of the Week. That is all out. And but the start of the basketball season for both high school and college is just around the corner. I mean, just around the corner. We were just talking high school basketball gets underway Thursday night. The round ball is starting to fly all around gyms across North Alabama, Drew, and the college game gets underway. Alabama and Auburn won't be long before they tip off. UAH gets underway Saturday on the road in St. Joseph's, Missouri. Going to take on Seattle Pacific to get the season started.
And you're going to need a program because this is a UAH team that's lost so much senior leadership from the last couple of years, so much experience, and had so much success under our next guest, and that is Coach John Shulman, who has done a remarkable job following in the footsteps of Lenny Acuff, keeping this program as one of the top 15 in the country. And now they will have a young but very athletic group. Austin Leslie's going to be a big part of this. We're excited about for him. We're just excited for UAH basketball to be back on our airwaves at ESPN 97.7 The Zone. And we're going to have now weekly visits with Coach John Shulman, and he's with us this morning. Coach, you're with Drew and Scott. How are you?
Well, I was a lot better, Drew, before you put me in depression with losing all those senior leaderships, all those wins. I'm just trying to pick up the pieces now, Drew. It put me in depression.
Man, we're excited about this.
I'm looking at the roster, though, and I think you've picked up the pieces just fine.
Oh, yeah. I think we're excited about the new guys, and it's always great. Every team is different.
Well, we've we knew this was going to happen, but with COVID, we had a shot at bringing everybody back, but we had so many fifth-year guys, we just weren't able to do that. We've got 3 of them right now playing professionally, Seth and JJ and Sam, so we're excited about those guys. But life goes on, and you got to here you can't really rebuild. You better retool and you better reload. And we made the decision to kind of reload with freshmen, and we've got 1 transfer. And I love our team. We're just young. We're young. We're going to start 3 freshmen for sure, and we'll figure it out from there. But we've had a really good preseason, exciting preseason. We've had 3 scrimmages, and I think we're ready to roll. But when we go through some growing pains, absolutely.
Yeah, I'm looking at the roster, and you mentioned freshmen. I think I'm counting 11 freshmen. Does that give
That's good. I'm proud of you, Scott. That's good. You can count well. Listen, I count every day. I'm going 11 freshmen. Are you kidding me? What are we? But no, we have 11 freshmen, and I guess five of those are. I think 5 of them were with us last year, and they're called, I guess, COVID freshmen.
Okay.
Because Chaney Johnson and Luke Burnett They didn't redshirt. They played last year, but they're still considered freshmen because everybody got their year back.
And that's so interesting.
Okay.
And then I know, Coach, we talked to you about this young man when you brought him into the program, but now you've had a chance to see him practice, see him scrimmage. He was a great player at Faulkner, but he was also a great player at Gunnersville High School. I saw him play both basketball and football. Very excited to have C.J. Williamson as a part of this program. How has he fit in? I know you guys were super excited to bring him in and be a part of UAH.
He's been amazing, just to be honest. First of all, he's a winner. He's used to winning. He wins. That's all he's ever done his whole career. He's won at Gunnersville. He won at Faulkner. And we're thrilled to have him here. He is a very difficult matchup. We're trying to figure out where he's going to play and whose role is he going to take. Well, he is kind of embraced. He will be an undersized 5 for us.
Oh, wow.
And he will be a really difficult guy for everybody else in the country to guard. And but he's really embraced the role. He is in our offices all the time watching film and trying to learn and trying to be better and trying to understand, our offense, which I'm right with him. I'm trying to understand it myself. I'm just kidding. All right. But he has been fantastic coming in and learning and growing and played really good in all 3 of our scrimmages. And, like I just said, we're ready to roll as much as we can be ready. We will have, I would think CJ's going to start for us. So we're really going to have 4 brand new starters with Max being the only returnee. And so we're excited. We're excited. We're a little nervous, but we're excited. And the nice thing about college basketball is champions are made really in January, February, and March, and not in November. So please just keep reminding me that on our weekly calls.
Yeah, but a name that's familiar is Dalton Dodd. Now he was with UAH,
back
and
again.
then he's back again, and even though he's listed as a sophomore, he's very familiar with the program.
Well, I love Double D. Double D has been fantastic. He is, like Dalton Dodd and Alston Leslie are high-level basketball players. And we've flirted with starting them. We've flirted with bringing them off the bench. If you could bring Dalton Dodd and Alston Leslie off the bench, I would think you'd have some pretty good firepower. And that's what we're looking to do. 2 years ago, we were 26-5. We brought Max and Kearney off the bench with some good firepower. I love that. I've always done that my whole career. So I don't think we're lacking talent at all. I think we're just lacking experience, and you can't get experience by talking about it. You have to go through the wars, and that's why we played. Listen, we had a scrimmage against Carson Newman, who was returning everybody from an NCAA tournament team. We scrimmaged Alabama A&M, and we scrimmaged Miles, which is an NCAA tournament team every single year. So I think we're already somewhat battle tested. We just haven't done it for real in front of people that really count now.
Well, and I know he told us this on our show, and he had a great run at Buckhorn High School. Mark Blevins, I know you know him so well. He coached it in the state of Tennessee for so long, and a Hall of Fame coach. And he was telling us about Nylon Thomas, and he said, well, he goes, if Coach Shulman will listen to me, he's going to get a great player. And so tell us about Nylon Thomas. I know he was great at Buckhorn, and we're excited to see him staying home and playing for, of course, UAH.
First of all, I played against Coach Blevins when I was like a junior in high school. I played against – that's how old Mark Blevins is. All right?
Wow, I'm surprised you remembered that.
I played against Coach Blevins, and actually I was such a stud of a player. I gave up 32 points to Tony Hackler in the first half. So we had to change matchups in the second half. Nylon is very similar to what I just said about C.J. Williamson. Nylon's a winner, period. He oozes winning. He comes from unbelievable people with Mr. Miss Thomas. They're unbelievable. But he's just a winner. He's been coached. He is strong. He is, like I said, he's just another freshman that we have that is stock full of really good talent that fits our program, fits our culture, and Nylon Thomas is going to be a stud at UAH.
Coach, you mentioned the three scrimmages that you have. How do you guys or how do you attack those scrimmages? How do you use those to get better and try to get some experience? Because I'm curious, because I know a lot of people are saying, well, I did not know UAH had scrimmages because they're not listed. But how do you attack those? How do you use those to get better?
I don't focus on anybody we're playing. I just focus on us. And so we don't work on scout reports. We don't work on all that. They're closed scrimmages, so people don't know about them. But gosh, are they valuable? You know, last year with COVID, we couldn't have any. We didn't have any scrimmages. The first time we went up and did anything was at LMU, and they were ranked top 10 in the country. And then what all these scrimmages do is they show you. And I wanted really good scrimmages, and we got them. I want a very realistic view on who we are. And I'm more of a fix-it guy. And so show me what we're weak at, and I'll fix it. Show me what we struggle with, and I'll fix it. And in order to do that, you got to play a game. And I'd much rather play a scrimmage than play a game. And so we've had 3 really good, realistic scrimmages. So where are we on the glass? Where are we offensively? Where are we defensively? I would just say offensively, we're probably averaging close to 80 points a game in those 3 scrimmages.
Nice.
And so I really like where we are offensively. Defensively, not so much. And on the glass, not so much. So what do? We got to go get back to practice and get better defensively, and got to get better on the glass. But we shouldn't be fantastic on both ends because not everybody knows exactly what we want and expect, and that just comes with experience.
And, Coach, I'd be remiss. I know you were very excited when he transferred in, and I know he had a year of adjustment last year trying to get comfortable, find his role. You just talked about him maybe bringing firepower off the bench. How much more comfortable is Austin Leslie now in his role for the Chargers going into this season?
Well, I would just say this, Drew. Comfort plays a big part of that.
Yes.
And if you're comfortable, you're going to be more successful. And if you'd have seen, and I'll show you two because I somewhat kind of like you two, I will show you a clip.
At least we're up to kind of.
Yeah, kind of. I mean, you're moving up the ladder, Scott. Come on. If you could have seen Austin Leslie in one of these scrimmages have a back cut and a finish at the rim, I mean, he is a high major athlete without a doubt, and he loves UAH, he loves Huntsville, and loves our program, and wants to do whatever he can do to help our program, and he's going to have to. Another young man, Dane Harding's going to play an awful lot off the bench, and we have to. We're talking about redshirting an awful lot of guys. So we may in theory end up dressing only 11 guys, and if we dress 11 guys, those guys that we're talking about, Austin Leslie's going to have to play and going to have to contribute. So is Dane Harding. So is Dalton Dodd. We're going to have those guys contribute in a major league way if we're going to have any success whatsoever. It's a long season. You can't count on. I've never been one to just say, "Hey, man, here's our starters. They're going to play 38 minutes." It doesn't work like that, and I've never been that guy. You got to have 8, 9, 10 guys being ready to roll.
Coach, well, you bring up redshirt. I had two questions, but I want to go to the redshirt one then first because we get asked this question a lot. Now that is it still this year? Is this still a COVID type of redshirt year where if the guy's redshirt, it doesn't count, or does this actually count now as a full redshirt? Where do we stand with all of this?
Well, it just depends what variant's coming next.
Okay.
Right? We got the Delta. No, I'm just kidding. All right. So hopefully we're in for a normal season.
Okay.
And that's what we're counting on is a normal season. And last year, everybody who played last year. So Max Shulman is a junior this year. He is in grad school, but he is a junior athletically.
Wow.
C.J. Williamson should be a senior. He is a junior. Everybody got that year back.
Okay.
Whether you want to use it and the coach wants to use it, that's up to that coach and that player. All right, but everybody got last year back. This year is going to be a normal year. And so there's no COVID year this year. So you play a guy, he loses a year. You redshirt a guy, he's redshirted. So hopefully we're looking at somewhat of a normal year. The biggest issue that a lot of people don't think about is what Coach Acuff did and started an unbelievable program here is he started redshirting all these kids. And we're going to get older and bigger and stronger, bringing in great students. And now all of a sudden these guys are in their fifth year and they're older than everybody else. Well, all of a sudden we had, 5 fifth-year guys last year. 4 of the 5 had gotten their masters, and they didn't really have any more academics to take at UAH. So we lost all those guys. Well, everybody else doesn't. No one redshirts guys. So everybody else, all those seniors are going to take a COVID year. So everybody is going to be old this year except us. And that was the advantage of redshirt, and all of a sudden, if we have the disadvantage of redshirt, the 1 year because of COVID. But it's just going to be a 1 year deal. We're going to get back old next year, but we're not going to use that as an excuse. We're just going to be young for a year, and we just got to grow up quick, and we plan on growing up quick.
And then, Coach, you're tipping off on Saturday in St. Joseph's, Missouri. Talk about this challenge. Going to get to play a couple of games on this neutral floor, and gonna start off with Seattle Pacific.
Well, when we got the invite to play in this Hall of Fame Classic, the invite was for last year. Okay, so we were planning on taking a really old team to Missouri to play really good people, and all of a sudden now with COVID, we're taking a team full of freshmen and inexperienced to go play in a high level. I think there's 5 ranked teams that will be out in St. Joe's this weekend, including Northwest Missouri, who is the number 1 team in the country. So I don't know. I don't know. Maybe Scott, Steve, and you, Drew, were on the committee, but we are ranked 20th in the country. Well, I'm not sure about that one, but we appreciate that because of the name on the front of our jersey. But we're ranked 20th in the country, and we open with Seattle Pacific, who's ranked 21st in the country. And like I just said, they got 23, 24-year-old grown men, and we got 19-year-old little kids. And it will be like that the whole season. And so we might as well start out with it. So we got Seattle Pacific on Saturday afternoon at 1 o'clock, and then we come back the next day. We play Embry-Riddle out of Florida. Embry-Riddle was down 6 to Florida at half, and they were down 4 to Florida with 9 minutes to play, I guess, Monday night in an exhibition game. So we're going to have our hands full out in Missouri, but it'll be like I said, it'll be a great start with we can put 2 games under our belt finally to add to experience, whether they go great, whether they go bad. It's all about learning, and that's why you play preseason non-conference games, so you're ready for conference play.
Yeah, the whole month of pretty much the month of November, you're on the road to start, and then you go to Florida after the trip to Missouri, where it is another tough challenge as well. So, Coach, this team's going to get.
St. Leo's picked number 2 in their league. We open with them, St. Leo at St. Leo, and then we got Tampa. Then we come back and play in the Bill Penny Classic here, and that's a Saturday, Sunday, the 20th and 21st, and we have a bunch of home games. We need a lot of experience. We need a lot of support. We need you, Scott and Drew, to be nice to me. It's very important during this run.
Sort of. We're gonna be sort of.
Yeah, well, I may start liking you more if we get beat out there. I may like you more. You'll be nice to, but it's just the experience factor is the main deal. But we're not using that as an excuse. We've already played 3 games. We just got to get more experience to get better, and that's why Seth and Sam and JJ. I mean, think about all those games those kids played in their career, and so nothing fazed those guys last year. And that's why it's their experience, and that's why they were veterans, and veterans normally win. But we're going to try to pull off something pretty cool.
Oh, and we are really looking forward to it. Basketball is back. Steve Moulton will bring you the call this weekend from Missouri. We're really looking forward to UAH Charger basketball being back on our airwaves. John Shulman, you've done a remarkable job. We appreciate it. We look forward to these weekly visits, and good luck to the Chargers and safe travels, and bring back a couple of W's.
I appreciate it, guys. We really appreciate you guys. Appreciate your support. Appreciate what y'all do for athletics up here in North Alabama, and just keep on doing a great job. Thank you very much.
All right, thanks. UAH head coach John Shulman joining us. That interview brought to you by SportsMed Orthopedic Surgery and Spine Center. They are the official sponsor and the official training provider of UAH Athletics. Give them a call today, 256-881-5151, to experience the SportsMed difference. SportsMed Orthopedic Surgery and Spine Center, dedicated to providing care that improves lives. And let's get our break in, because when we come back, we'll continue the World Series breakdown, the college football talk, and more.
You're listening to Talkin Ball on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Got a wreck at Maston Lake in Jordan. That one's reported with an injury. 6th Avenue and 9th Street in Decatur, nobody's hurt. Another one in Decatur on Somerville Road's coming in as a no injury. 53 in Jeff reported with injury and entrapment. They cleared everybody off that one. And we got 3 or 4 different wrecks. 565 eastbound about mile marker 2. That's approaching the Greenbrier exit. Got at least 1 injury involved in all that. The Somnodent from Dr. Sandman's easy to use. It's an oral device with no mask and no hose. Insurance accepted for sleep apnea and for snoring. 350-CARE or RandallSandlin.com. Captain Nick in the 72 and Jeff Popeye Skywatch Traffic Center.
If you're ready to lower your utility bills, it's time to call Eagle Insulation. Eagle can handle it all. Attic re-insulation, insulation removal, wall insulation, and new construction insulation, commercial and residential. Our primary goal is to save you money, and lots of it. Typical clients realize their return on investment within 3 to 6 months. That means the re-insulation actually pays for itself and then some. See if we can help you. Contact Eagle Insulation today, 256-755-1556, or log on insulatewitheagle.com. At Bad Daddy's Burger Bar, people call the award-winning burgers totally insane, which is a compliment, because Bad Daddy's Burgers are just that, chef-inspired expressions of pure burger amazingness built with premium Angus beef. They're bold and they're bad. Pair one with one of their signature cocktails or assortment of local craft brews. Bad Daddy's Burger Bar, 2317 Memorial Parkway. Check out our menu and even order online at BadDaddy'sBurgerBar.com.
It just works. Picture this. You're at home, doing whatever it is you do. Then, pow! The power goes out. Then what? Well, at my house, life goes on. We have a Generac automatic home standby generator from Current Electrical and Generator Services. For your home security and peace of mind, get a free personal consultation on how a Generac automatic home standby generator can protect you. Current Electrical and Generator Services. Call or visit us on the web at HuntsvilleGenerators.com. You've got the power.
The kitchen is the heart of any home. It's where the family gathers. It's where kids discover old recipes and make them their own. Just starting out or just now getting started on the dream kitchen you've always wanted?
I'm Chris Haygood, and from all of us here at Bob Wallace Appliance to the home builders and the homeowners, a heartfelt thank you for buying local. We're in Huntsville, Florence, and Coleman, and online at bobwallaceappliance.com.
Jesus tells us to go the second mile. Well, sometimes it's hard enough to go the first mile. But when the Lord is number one in our lives, we not only go the first mile, but we embrace the second mile. We can talk all we want about Jesus and how important he is to us, but we show it in the second mile. In the second mile, the world is changed. In the second mile, the difference is made. In the second mile, the lost world sees Christ in us. Hey, I'm John Dees, pastor at Cross Point Church. We're smack dab across the street from the YMCA in Madison. And check us out at cpcfamily.org.
In today's real estate market, you need the right professionals to help make sure your home purchase is smooth and hassle-free. That's where Jacob Title comes in. Stan McDonald and the staff at Jacob Title cater to the realtor and clients who are looking for a top-flight closing experience. Jacob Title uses the latest and best technologies to ensure a safe and secure exchange of funds, and they pride themselves on great communication well before and during the real estate closing process. Jacob Title in Huntsville and Madison, and online at jacobtitle.com.
Tom Luganbill here for Woody Anderson Ford. When I was in the Tennessee Valley, one of the things that impressed me the most was the quality of the people. People like Bobby White and his team at Woody Anderson Ford. And now you can experience the tremendous new service lanes and showroom at Woody Anderson Ford, at Jordan and Sparkman, or just stop by for breakfast or lunch at Henry's Mustang Cafe. And in Madison, visit Woody Anderson of Madison on Hughes Road, just south of 72. Like a great college football tradition, always there. Woody Anderson Ford.
While other stations keep changing their lineup,
Yeah!
we keep plugging away.
Did you lose your mind all of a sudden, or was it a slow, gradual process?
Thank you for making us your number one choice for sports talk in North Alabama. We are 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
This is Steve Moulton from The Drive. Join us this afternoon from 5 to 7 with Wes Neighbors and me. Now back to Talkin Ball with Scott Theisen and Drew DeArmond on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
All right, 8:26 on a Wednesday morning. It's warming up, 43 degrees. On a Wednesday morning.
It's still chilly, but it's certainly not feeling chilly in Atlanta, I can tell you that.
Oh, no, it is not. The Braves, your World Series champions for the first time since 1995.
I got to ask Chad something, too. Chad's over here, and he's a big Braves guy, just like myself. How much did you spend last night, Chad? I spent $150.
I haven't spent any. I haven't spent any
what?
money yet. No,
I ordered some stuff.
I didn't spend any money yet. No, not yet. I will. Trust me. There will be a lot of money dropped on this.
Well, I'm just saying because Fanatics was about to crash last night. It was getting hit so hard.
Yeah.
I mean, one of my friends even went. I think Academy had stuff last night.
I mean, the ratings went up for baseball. I mean, it just shows you what the Braves can do. Obviously, it wasn't the Astros fan base that was watching the game. It was all of the South rejoicing. Finally, for me, after 26 years of finally seeing it happen.
I just started reminiscing.
But see, though, I got to ask you guys this because you guys are Atlanta fans as well. I mean, Atlanta has gone through some awful ups and downs since 95. I mean, the Atlanta Falcons collapsed in the Super Bowl. I mean, the stigma around the Atlanta franchises of not being able to win is now cursed. I mean, because we went through the Cubs curse. I mean, I've lived through that. But now the Braves curse has been lifted.
Somewhat.
The Atlanta curse has been lifted.
Well, I mean, I hope soon we can speak to Leo Mazzoni and get his thoughts because remember he joined us. He was impassioned about what he was saying about the pitching staff and its development and and how he thought he liked what he saw out of the Braves. And then I know he had to be very happy for Max Fried last night. Max pitched such a great ball game, got them deep into the game, and then that bullpen it fell into place. And really became a dominant one over the second half of the season. And really the Atlanta Braves, following the All-Star break, were really the best team in baseball. So
yeah.
Baseball is a marathon, not a sprint. It's not about having the best record overall. It's really how healthy you are at the end and what kind of role you're on. And so just like the Washington Nationals a few years ago, the Braves have now won a world title. And certainly now it heightens expectations. But the Braves organization really since 91 when they broke through has been they've had a couple of hiccups, but they've been very consistent in a winning and have a winning culture there. Brian Snitker, 45 years with the Braves. It was just making me laugh all the time when I would hear people say, well, you got to fire Snitker, you got to get a better manager. I mean, Freddie Gonzalez I thought was going to be a good fit. I didn't think he was. Snitker is perfect. He's almost like just having another Bobby Cox in the dugout.
Well, he loves the organization. He
does.
Is the Braves organization,
though. One of my favorite players of all time, David Ortiz. I like the Red Sox as well. he told Brian Snicker last night, I would love to play for you, man, because he's an old school manager, but he knows how to, get the most out of the players. The players love playing for him just like they did Bobby Cox. There's a lot of respect and mutual admiration there. And then the great coaching staff, Ron Washington, the infield coach, third base coach.
He's been to a pair of World Series himself as a manager.
Yeah,
with the
nearly
Texas
winning
Rangers.
it with the Rangers, one out away. And but this time he gets a world championship. Eric Young, first base coach, Eric Young Sr., he's done a great job there with them. Kevin Seitzer, the hitting coach, Rick Kranitz, the pitching coach. They got a great coaching staff over there with the Braves, and so Sal Fasano. So they've got a lot of good baseball men over there. And now what they just need to do is pay Freddie Freeman. Because I'm telling you, he everybody knows, he said it last night, where his heart is. He wants to stay with the Braves. They're going to get a lot of extra revenue for this. We need to, pick Bill Shank's brain, because Bill went back to Houston, watched his video last night, knew he'd be there on the field. So Bill's going to probably be a part of that parade as well. But it's a great time to be an Atlanta Braves fan, and it was an honor for us for the second straight year to be the home of the Braves here in Madison County at 97.7 The Zone.
All right, so the Braves and the Auburn Tigers have something in common, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I saw this stat thrown out there. In 1957, the Milwaukee Braves won the World Series.
That's right.
Lloyd Nix was the starting quarterback for the Auburn Tigers. In 1995, the Braves won the World Series. Patrick Nix was the starting quarterback for the Auburn Tigers. And in 2021, the Braves win the World Series. Bo Nix is the starting quarterback for the Auburn Tigers.
There you go. That's a very interesting tidbit there. And I was reminiscing, just thinking about where I was when they won it in 95. I was on the way back from an Alabama game with my Uncle Harold, and we were coming back and driving. We listened on the radio. I think we got back to Guntersville just before the last couple of outs. And so I just was thinking about that, where I was when they won it in 95, listening to, Tom Glavine pitch one of the great games in postseason history, because that was a 1-0 game in Game 6, and David Justice hitting the big home run, and it was just, and I didn't really know what to do with myself last night, just because simply there was no stress really. By the time it got to 5-0, you felt really good. Freed stayed locked in. You felt good about where the bullpen was going to be. A little nervous they were going to put Luke Jackson in, and Luke's a little up and down every now and then, but they decided to keep Matzik in. But you had a big lead, so but just a great performance all the way around. Will Smith, a 0 ERA in the postseason, so you got to give him a lot of credit. He really settled in that second half to that closer role.
All right, 256-576-4977. You want to get in on the show this morning. Now is a great time to do so. You can get in and comment on the college football playoff rankings. We can go over those. We can talk the Atlanta Braves winning the World Series championship. And in case you are wondering, Jorge Solaire was your World Series MVP, just the third midseason acquisition to win World Series MVP. Joined Steve Pearce in 2018 and Don Clendenon in 1969 as part of the New York Mets to win the World Series MVP in a mid-season acquisition. And as far as home runs go, Jorge Solaire had 3 of them in the World Series. Eddie Rosario had 3 in the NLCS. That is ties them with the most Braves players in home runs in a single postseason series. Tied them with Ryan Klesko, Marquise Grissom, Lonnie Smith, Hank Aaron, and Hank Aaron. So there you go.
Well, I mean, as I tweeted last night, that title was for Hammer. I mean, they lost him in January. They lost Phil Niekro, one of the great pitchers in Braves history and a Hall of Famer in his own right. And also you start thinking of, Ernie Johnson Sr. and, of course, Jr. We know Ernie Johnson Jr., who joined us just several weeks ago, Scott. He lost his son, Michael, recently, very tragic. But, you think about Pete Van Wieren, you think about Skip Carey, all those guys that we grew up watching and listening to on TBS and on the airwaves. And so I was just thinking about all those old voices that were so familiar to everyone. That did a great job bringing us Braves baseball, and then you're happy for Ben Ingram, Joe Simpson and all those guys that are still on the crew, and Jeff Francoeur does a great job. But, you just really enjoy listening to them. Chip Carey as well. I mean, it's just it is Braves country. It's almost like a family organization, and I was just thinking about all those guys and reminiscing, and it's great that to see the Braves step it up and win this. Hopefully, this will be set off another run. I know they've won 4 straight divisions, but I think they're set up for success going forward. They've got a lot of young talent under contract. They're going to get Ronald Acuna back from his ACL. They're going to get hopefully Mike Soroka back. I know 2 straight Achilles tendons is tough, but hopefully he'll be back. He's still a very young player, and so that's the key. They've got so many young guys under contract, and their minor league system, I think, still doing very well. And one of the cool things, and we really hadn't talked a ton about it, and hopefully we can speak with him in the days ahead, but Kyle Wright, from Buckhorn here, the son of Roger Wright, his maturation in this postseason and what he did. One of the things he did that was just so key is that game he pitched 4 2/3 innings. The Braves come back. That was probably the turning point in the series. They were down 2-0 in that game, but they come back to win 3-2 thanks to those back-to-back home runs. Certainly, it was just 2 unbelievable moments. They come back, win that game 3-2, and when they do that, they take that 2 games to 1 lead. And I just think really that took a stranglehold in the series for the Braves, and I thought really it was the turning point in the whole series.
All right, so that's your Braves Baseball World Series, recap there, 256-576-4977. That's the number to the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline. We want to hear from you on this Wednesday. The other big topic has been the college football playoff rankings. One of the Gary Barta bites we did not get to play yet was that Cincinnati doesn't have a ceiling. This is what Gary Barta had to say yesterday about Cincinnati.
And as I scan the rankings, I don't see any more teams in the American ranked at this point, which would tend to imply that they're close to their ceiling. Is that how you would characterize it? Absent chaos in front of them where everybody starts losing.
We don't talk about a ceiling at all. Again, we look at what's happened so far. We don't project ahead. I think most everybody knows that. We look at what's happened so far, and Cincinnati earned their way to the number 6 spot with that big win, being undefeated, and with that big win at Notre Dame. But we haven't talked at all about a ceiling, so I really am not. I'm not ready to say there's a ceiling.
So Mike Oresco, the AAC commissioner, not happy last night after seeing the rankings, says on record it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. The committee doesn't rank our teams that deserve to be ranked. Then they turn around and say they don't play any ranked team.
Hey, what does he care? They're going to the Big 12 anyways. They're not even going to be there. He's just stumping like he needs to. But a slight correction for me, too, at the Braves. That was Game 4. That was the 3-2 win. Apologies for that. But I just felt like that was the biggest turning point. But, again, to go back to the Cincinnati situation, they are going to need help. But what they just got to hope for is what I said earlier, a lot of 2-loss teams, and they've got to continue to win. They have not looked good. It's just like Oklahoma. That's why they're 8th, and that's why Cincinnati's 6th. Neither one of them are in the top 4 because – lately, we saw the Tulane game with Cincinnati. We saw the Navy game. They did not take care of business. It's not like they mud-hold them like they did UCF, where they dominate and win by 30 and 40. That's not what they've been doing lately.
Right.
And so, and Oklahoma has not been doing that either against to me an inferior league in the Big 12. So both those teams are going to get their opportunities. But, again, they're both going to need help. But that's the beautiful thing. When you look at those top 7 ahead of them and really top 5 ahead of Cincinnati, a lot of those schools are going to cannibalize themselves. So working yourself into a frenzy after the first poll is stupidity. It's dumb. Because, again, there's so much football left to be played. So trying to act like, oh, no, shut up. Because there's all kind of chances. And besides, you're going to bitch about it and then go out and choke and lose. And so if you do that anyway, you're done. So just worry about winning games week to week, and then they'll take care of itself.
All right, there is something, though, that the top 4 teams do have in common with each other, that being Georgia, Alabama, Michigan State, and Oregon. All 4 head coaches Kirby Smart, Nick Saban, Mel Tucker, and Mario Cristobal were all part of the 2015 Alabama coaching staff.
Well, that's what I'm saying. And imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. Everybody wants a Saban guy. And some of them are doing very well. Some of them aren't. Some of them go for it on fourth down all the time and blow games. But that's another story for another day. But, again, I just but that was a pretty remarkable tidbit there when you look at it. They were all on the 2015
staff.
And so all these guys have built, championship caliber programs. Mario Cristobal has done a remarkable job winning a couple of Pac-12 titles at Oregon. He's got him in the mix again. Now,
is he long-term at Oregon?
Probably not. It'll be interesting. I don't think he'll end up at LSU, but he's on the radar. I mean, if he continues to improve and win Pac-12 titles, I think he'll definitely be on Alabama's radar. But certainly, and again, when you just look at where Mario's from, he's a South guy. He's a South Florida guy. He's from the Southeast. I would think eventually, I think his wife's from Atlanta, that they would want to come back to down south if possible for the right job. But I will say, as far as West Coast and resources and boosters and support, he's got a lot of it at Oregon. And USC and UCLA, they've got it. Both got issues. They haven't been able to find the right guy. And right now, I mean, there's not two dogs and a cat coming to a USC game. So he's got control of the West Coast there pretty good, and he's recruiting at a very high level.
I'm wondering if I'm wondering that the career path, Mel Tucker or Mario Cristobal, who's going to be better, long term, because Mel's still building. Yeah, Mel is still building. I'm wondering if you're LSU, because we had heard that Mel Tucker was that the new president at LSU was looking at a minority coach. That's what he really would like, and that's why Mel Tucker, his name keeps coming up there. I'm wondering though, long term, if Mario Cristobal would be a better fit for LSU than Mel Tucker.
Potentially, because I think they're both great recruiters. I think both are still developing as head coaches. The thing that Mel Tucker has in his hat is he's got two prominent boosters that would like him to be the head coach at LSU. He would also be the first minority head coach, even though we know Mario Cristobal is, I think, of Cuban descent, but still, an African-American head coach at LSU would be a big deal. Probably I would have to say slightly Mel Tucker, but Mario Cristobal still has a better resume, because don't forget he rebuilt a program from scratch at Florida International before stupidly getting fired and then helping Alabama win championships. Mel Tucker did as well. Mel Tucker only been at Michigan State 2 years. We talked to our good friend Rico Beard. That was great stuff yesterday. He thinks that Mel's going to get paid and that he's going to stay at Michigan State, which would be huge for the Big Ten. So we'll see. I mean, there's a lot of people that think Mel Tucker could be the next coach at LSU, but I guess Jimbo Fisher's still in that mix too, even though that would shock me with how Jimbo's recruiting at Texas A&M and where he's got that program. Now, if they come out and lose to Auburn Saturday, that may answer your own question. He may already have some bags halfway out the door. I want to see how Texas A&M ends this season.
All right, let's get our final break in. When we come back, your tomorrow's headlines today as we wrap up our 2-hour edition of Talkin Ball.
You're listening to Talkin Ball on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Still got a major backup on 565 trying to get through the mile marker 2 Greenbrier area. That traffic is backed way back on Highway 20, way back past I-65. All the ramps there pretty well stacked up. There's 3 different wrecks in there, maybe 4, but I know there's at least 3. Maston Lake and Jordan's our newest reported accident. That one came in with an injury as well. You get 3 pieces of the crispy tender chicken and a buttermilk biscuit for $4.99 at Popeyes. University and Jordan, 72 and Jeff and North Parkway. Captain Nick in the Popeyes Skywatch Traffic Center.
Taco Bell presents a get-out-of-bedtime story. It's time to wake up from this amazing dream, even though you're jet skiing on lemonade. How extreme! And oh, look at that, you just won the lottery. Is that a castle? Take the keys. It's your property. What's better than swimming in space? Just wait for the big reveal. It's Taco Bell breakfast, and it's actually real. So it's time to wake up and bid your dreams farewell, because toasted breakfast burritos are waiting for you, only at Taco Bell. At participating Taco Bell locations near you during breakfast hours only.
Our latest zone deal is upon us. Log on to 977ESPN.com for Gunner's Landing. 2 rounds of golf for the price of 1, including a cart. Gunner's Landing is one of the Tennessee Valley's finest golf experiences. Just 35 minutes from downtown Huntsville, Gunner's Landing's 18-hole championship jewel is open to the public 7 days a week. Gunner's Landing offers you a golf experience like no other. Log on now, 977ESPN.com.
If you need a car, McCurry Motors is ready to put you in a quality vehicle, and in-house financing is available. If you have a job, McCurry Motors will work with you even if you have a bankruptcy, divorce, or bad credit. Visit McCurrySaysYes.com. Every car comes with a warranty, and they report to the credit bureau. With 2 locations, Highway 72 in Athens, call 256-230-0232, or Max Luther Drive in Huntsville. Call 256-713-0575.
Happy holidays don't just happen on their own. You make them happen with a little help from new appliances at the Home Depot. Because warm wishes won't roast that turkey. You'll want a new convection oven for that. An air fryer will help make the season light and delicious. And while you're at it, consider a new LG or Samsung fridge that's big enough to hold all kinds of Christmas cheer. Make the holidays yours with the season's best savings on top appliances at the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
Take your taste buds back in time with a trip to the all-new Bubby's Diner, offering a variety of mouth-watering food from delicious starters to 50s-style diner food and meat and 3 meals, featuring owner and Huntsville native Chris Bubby Belcher's family's homemade recipes. Open Monday through Saturday for breakfast, lunch, and dinner at 8412 Whitesburg Drive in the former Gibson's Barbecue. Drive-in, drive-through, carry-out, or curbside pickup with delivery coming soon through Grub South. Bubby's Diner, home of the Donut Burger.
This is Wes Neighbors talking to Chris Haygood of Bob Wallace Appliance. Chris, what sets you apart from other appliance dealerships?
Wes, these appliances are going into the most used room in your house, your kitchen. The way we have these appliances displayed, it's easy for you to visualize how they'll look in your home. Wes, what sets us apart is the people. They're well trained. In fact, they live and breathe these appliances. And if you need service, you'll really appreciate our parts department.
Contact Bob Wallace Appliance at 256-533-2121.
SportsMed is the official team physicians of the Rocket City Trash Pandas. And if the pros trust SportsMed, you can too. SportsMed provides every service you might need for complete orthopedic care, specializing in orthopedic surgery, sports medicine, joint replacement, spine surgery, neurosurgery, and podiatry. And they offer their own brace shop, in-house full-body MRI, physical therapy, walk-in clinic, and so much more. 4 locations and on the web at sportsmedalabama.com.
What can you expect when you shop for a firearm at Bullet & Barrel? Expect great prices. We specialize in quality over quantity. Expect great service. Our professional sales staff is never pushy. We won't talk you into something that doesn't fit your needs. You have the right to make a smart, informed decision. Expect Bullet & Barrel, Alabama's only 5-star indoor shooting range, to support you after the sale. Bullet & Barrel, 3252 Lehman Ferry Road. Like or follow us on Facebook. Come see us soon.
This segment of Talkin Ball is brought to you by University Kia, the #1 volume Kia dealer in the state of Alabama. Located online at universitykia.com. It's time for tomorrow's headlines today with Scott Tyson and Drew DeArmond on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Welcome back to 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Tough news out of Las Vegas yesterday. Henry Ruggs III has been released by the Las Vegas Raiders following his involvement in a vehicle crash earlier, I guess you could say, Tuesday. That left a woman dead. He faces felony charges of driving under the influence of alcohol, resulting in death, and reckless driving. His initial court appearance is scheduled for later today.
Yeah, Henry, I think, was with his girlfriend, and then a young lady. I think he rear-ended her. And, of course, this set off a fire, and the young lady and her dog both perished. So thoughts and prayers to the families on both sides, but especially of the young lady who lost her life. It's just tragic and really just shows you in one moment you can just really almost do irreparable damage to your career. Henry Ruggs was having a breakout season with the Las Vegas Raiders. They're in first place in their division. And now he has been released. He's done. He's got a court date, and may very well seek jail time here. And it's just really sad. He's a good kid who stayed out of trouble at Alabama, did a lot of great things, and looked like he was starting to come into his own as a pro. And one bad decision that just shows what drinking and driving can do. They have Scott. I was sent this. They have a 7-day-a-week, 24-hour a day, 365-day a year free Uber ride basically for NFL players.
They call it a car service for all their players.
You can call it any time, and if there's even any doubt that you're under the influence, why you don't take advantage of that is beyond me. And it would have saved someone's life, and that just goes to show you. And again, Henry Ruggs, he lost his best friend Rod Scott in high school to a car accident. So this is just really a sad, sad thing. And thoughts and prayers to everyone. But wow, I mean, it was just gut wrenching when you heard about this.
All right, so it's Ruggs has 24 catches, 469 yards, and 2 touchdowns this season. His 19.5 yards per catch average. Second in the NFL among pass catchers with at least 20 receptions.
Yeah,
so,
no question about that.
That is that's the tough news there out of the NFL. And you do get NFL game, though, Thursday night. That's Jets at Indianapolis. And Derrick Henry did undergo successful foot surgery. He says he hopes to return later this season.
And then the Los Angeles, got to keep remembering that, Rams, and keep reminding myself it's not St. Louis anymore.
Oh, that's right. Did I say the St. Louis Rams?
No, I just remind myself. Los Angeles Rams, all in, man. Von Miller, 8-time Pro Bowler from the Broncos,
yes. 2nd
and 3rd round picks. He is now a Ram. He will be teaming up with Aaron Donald as they've brought in Matt Stafford. They keep bringing in guys. They are going all in. They've already beaten the Bucs in the regular season, but they want to win a Super Bowl. Matt Stafford has never won one. Certainly the Rams played in the Super Bowl a few short years ago, as we know, and lost to the New England Patriots. So going to be interesting to see if the Los Angeles Rams can reach that Super Bowl. But they, Sean McVay and that front office, they certainly are being aggressive, bringing in Von Miller, one of the best pass rushers when he's healthy in the NFL.
All right, 256-576-4977. That's the number of the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline. And the NCAA, this coming in from Brett McMurphy just a short time ago. Oklahoma State's appeal for the basketball tournament this year has been denied.
So they're out.
So the Sooners appealed the ban, allowing the school to participate in the tourney.
Now, is that Oklahoma State or Oklahoma?
Oklahoma State.
That's the Cowboys. Okay, got you.
That was these were infractions under former assistant in 2016 by Brad Underwood. So Oklahoma State will not be able to be a part of the tournament this past year. Remember, they appealed it this year.
Yeah, went to the tournament.
Went into the tournament because they had Cade Cunningham.
Yep.
Not this coming year. So Oklahoma State denied their appeal. And it's kind of funny because Dick Vitale was giving the NCAA, which, by the way, our prayers go out to Dick Vitale, who's battling cancer, going through chemo. The other day, while he was getting a chemo infusion, blasted the NCAA because they banned Kofi Cockburn of Illinois for 3 games for selling merchandise like 2 months ago.
Before NIL.
Before NIL, but yet they drag their feet when it comes to...
Will Wade has a job. Will Wade has a job.
Basically,
he's still paying people. Now he'll just pay them as part of NIL. But him having a job is a joke, okay? He said he paid more than the G League when they didn't have NIL. They should have fired his ass then.
That's basically what Dick Vitale was saying, that they have dragged their feet on things that have taken 3 to 5 to 6 years before we finally find out punishment or we finally find out resolutions. And you have an athlete who gets his fate in like 4 weeks. And so he's like, something has to be done with the NCAA and how they handle things, because that's not right. So those are some of your tomorrow's headlines today. 256-576-4977. We mentioned the Atlanta Braves. That's obviously really the biggest headline. And you mentioned Brian Snitker. And Drew, he had been a part and has been a part of the Atlanta Braves organization since 1977 as a manager, scout, whatever you want to call it. 1977. Brian Snitker has been a part of the Braves organization.
Yeah, I was very happy for him. He's done a solid job with Atlanta, 4 straight divisions and now a World Series. Very happy for Freddie Freeman, for Ozzie Albies, Lieutenant Dansby Swanson, Riley, Austin Riley, breakout year this year for him. All those moves they made, to get Jock Peterson, to get Jorge Solaire, the World Series MVP, to get Adam Duvall back, and then everyday Eddie Rosario, he played a big part of it too. It was just a complete team win, and overcoming a lot of adversity. It was just the Braves' year, and certainly it's going to be a raucous environment on Friday for the parade. It'll probably be chilly, but nobody's going to be feeling any pain. And I'm happy for the Braves organization, happy that we're an affiliate here. And it's one of those things where we're the home of the champions. We bring Alabama football national champions. We certainly bring you the Atlanta Braves. We think Madison Academy, they're a region champion, but if they can go on a state championship run here after Madison Academy football. So
UAH basketball, we can't forget. Our friends there at UAH.
Yeah,
we sort of liked UAH
by Coach John Shulman, and so. But they're a championship caliber program, winning the Gulf South tournament in its first year, and winning, I believe, the division championship last year, and they're part of their half of the division in the Gulf South. So John Shulman's done a remarkable job heading into his 3rd season at UAH, and even though they're going to be young and be retooled, I think they're still going to be really good. And so really looking forward to C.J. Williamson, Austin Leslie, all these local talents. We talked about Dalton Dodd as well. Just really looking forward to seeing UAH out there on the floor. And remember, by late November, around November the 20th, going to be at home quite a bit inside Spraggins Hall.
All right. Well, that's just about going to do it for our 2 hours of fun here on a Wednesday.
Scott Sharp update. I know he joined us in the first hour.
Yeah.
Found out now Coach Sharp was retired from the Madison County City School System, teaching at Lincoln County High School. So congratulations to him. He put in so many great years as part of Madison City School System, or the Huntsville City School System, I should say, at Huntsville High as an assistant and head coach, and then of course the Madison County school system at Gurley High School at Madison County High. And so now retired and teaching at Lincoln County, still influencing young people, hopefully still coaching as well. But
we can get him coaching again. We can get him coaching again.
I'm becoming his agent here, man.
There's a couple places I know that he could work.
Here. Yeah.
There's a couple places that he could work. I
think he's a quality head coach, and hopefully we'll see him on the sidelines again, maybe in the private school sector. But great to have Coach Sharp on to reminisce about the great Grant Hill. Again, thoughts and prayers to his family. We're going to miss him. Such a great young man all the way around. One of the best athletes to ever come through Huntsville. And we want to thank, Oscar Bonds, the ESPN 97.7 Zone Team of the Week, the Tanner Rattlers. We're going to be out there and be honoring also the Westminster Christian Academy 4A state championship as well in volleyball.
Yep.
And then we want to thank John Shulman for joining us also.
Yeah, UAH Chargers open the season on Saturday. That's basketball-wise. Tomorrow, we get the kickoff or the tip-off of the high school basketball season. We'll dribble the round ball a little bit around tomorrow. That's going to do it for our 2 hours of fun. WZZN.halfoffdeal.com. Best half-off deals in the Tennessee Valley. Visit that today, as well as download the app.
Sitting here with Mark Kent of Southern Fidelity Mortgage Group of Huntsville. Mark, do you help pre-qualify people?
We pre-qualify